Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Siobhan. I share videos about figure drawing and particularly a dynamic and expressive approach to drawing the figure. This video is the last in my current series of videos about life drawing sessions. For the past 8 weeks, I've had the chance to attend life drawing in person, and from next week, I'm going to be back in my studio, back to drawing from photos and reference. In this last life drawing session, I found that I was conscious of two major aspects to the process, and I thought I'd share these thoughts with you as final tips in this series. Today, I wanted to encourage you to really draw what you see, not what you think you see. And I also want to talk about how sometimes it's good to draw what you feel is the most important part of the pose, instead of trying to draw the whole entire pose. Drawing what you see means that you literally have to stop thinking about what you're looking at. You have to turn off that analytical aspect of your brain and simply look at shapes, forms, and lines. Now, I realize that this is completely the opposite advice to what you're normally told. In fact, you're normally told to really analyze what you're looking at and even abstract it or conceptualize the forms into easier things to draw. And that is a great exercise for developing your understanding of structure and anatomy. But particularly when you're drawing from life, sometimes it's also good practice to turn that off and just focus on what you're observing, what you're seeing, and to really commit to drawing that with absolutely no compromise or shortcut or simplification. So drawing what you see means that you need to look way more at your subject or the model rather than looking at your drawing. It means that you have to connect to your subject and focus on nothing else, and just trust that your eyes are seeing shapes that your hand can draw. This is really good when it comes to very difficult or tricky areas in the pose, because if you're faced with complex shapes, like say the features of the face, the hands, or even a very foreshortened pose, sometimes the more you try to name the parts and try to draw what you know is the anatomy, the more your drawing will be constructed and less responsive. Again, just to repeat myself, that's totally fine sometimes. What I'm suggesting is that at other times, you might want to strive for a more responsive drawing. Personally, I find that the drawings I make where I put the focus on what is seen are much more honest and in many ways more powerful drawings. My second tip is a lot easier, and it will definitely help you to make better drawings. Usually in life drawing, when the model takes a pose, we always tend to want to draw everything, like the whole pose, neatly outlined, draw all the fingers, toes, the head. And the reason we do this is because we see the whole pose. So we tend to think that we need to draw everything. What I want to suggest is that you can take a minute at the start of any pose and just look at the model and decide what is the aspect of this pose that says the most to you in that moment. Sometimes that can simply be, the tilt or the twist in the torso, maybe the tilt of the head, the turn of the shoulders. In other words, if you look for a statement in the pose that's the strongest, then you have an opportunity to make a drawing that emphasizes that, and you can avoid a drawing that is of the whole entire pose that doesn't have a strong statement. So find something in the pose that strikes you and draw that, even if it's just a hand, an arm resting on the leg. I think it will really help you to start to make stronger statements in your drawings overall. And it will help you to be braver with your emphasis. Instead of thinking that you have to draw the entire figure, you can start to see areas that are important and know that you don't have to draw everything. I think this also helps you to achieve a rhythm in your drawing, which I have talked about before. I made another video about that and I'll link it below. And that's something to bear in mind rather than having your drawing just be one note throughout. You can actually change up your lines or the quality of your marks for emphasis and focus on what you think is most important. I actually find this is really helpful when the pose is very difficult or even if it's a very uninteresting pose. By focusing on an area or a detail, you can still come out with a great drawing no matter what the pose is like. So every so often, avoid drawing the entire figure and focus on one area and work that up into detail. I hope all of this makes sense. My last bonus extra piece of advice is don't take life drawing for granted. I used to go to life drawing every week and now I don't really have that opportunity, so it's very easy to take it for granted. It's really a privilege to draw the model from life. It's nothing like drawing from a photo, so if you are at life drawing, make the most of it. Draw for me, since I won't be able to draw from life for the next few months. Thank you so much for watching this video and for being here on this channel. I really appreciate your support and your inspiration. Please give this video a like for YouTube and subscribe so that we can stay in touch. And also tag me on Instagram. I'm posting work there and I'd love to see your drawings too. So thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.